Reverend Rachel Hayes, minister of the Unitarian Universalist Society of Amherst. I use she, her pronouns. Welcome this morning to our congregation. Come in from the wintry weather, each and all, shaking off the snow or logging on from wherever this morning meets you. Come in with all that makes you who you are. The ancestors whose lives laid a path for yours, the struggles that have shaped you, the loves that have nurtured you, every part of you. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. This is Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, and I call us to worship with these words by the Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto. There is a moment before dawn when the night is firmly in charge of the sky. There is no arguing with the opacity that holds both a fertile imagination and cover of destruction. Just hold on. There is the moment when the dream we share is newly born, wet and wriggling in our hands. Sometimes it's true that salvific futures look vulnerable and small before us. We remain unsure. Just hold on. Anything good was small at first. You know that Dr. King said, "I have a dream." It definitely was not the "I have a reality" speech. It was real in a different way that could be felt, that could be shared. They held on. That dreaming speech happened in August 1963, and you know what came before was April, a letter from a Birmingham jail. One moment did inform the other, but the future being built could not be known with certitude. They held on. We gather, Unitarian Universalists, certain only of our power to be human, finding ourselves committed to keeping our word and being our covenant. And when we fail to keep our promises, we don't throw them away, labeled as impossible. We take up our courage. We begin again. We hold on. Sprinkled in the wind, we can hear the question, if we are not white supremacy shaped into religious robes and rituals, then who are we? We are present both in attention and in the answer. We are here. We hold on. We contain multitudes, not just of questions and contradictions, but also of possibilities. We continue to labor for the creation of community in which all of us, not just each, but every part of us, is welcome in our home of faith. We hold on. Come, let us worship together. I invite you to say our congregation's chalice lighting words with me as Tim lights our chalice. We light this flame to invite a world of peace, where we heal the wounds, where we share what we have with one another, where justice is another word for relationship, and we listen for what love has to say. I invite you to rise in body, spirit, heart, and voice to sing our first hymn, which is number 153, "Oh, I Woke Up This Morning." invite you to join me in reciting our congregation's covenant. Love is the spirit of this community. We dwell together in peace. We seek truth and justice in love. We honor everyone's worth and dignity, and we do the work of building the beloved community in our world. So I'd like to invite the kids forward to talk about our covenant, if you so choose. Some of them might not. We have fewer kids than normal this week. So if anybody, and some of them are already downstairs, and so I invite kids or anybody who feels like being a kid to come join me on the steps as we talk about our covenant. So we're thinking about our covenant in this moment right now, and you all are welcome to participate from where you are sitting. You don't have to be on the steps with me. You don't have to put Lauren on the spot too much. So, yeah, come on, I know you want to come in. So we say the words of our covenant together. Yeah, come on. We say the words of our covenant together about once a month, and we have them hanging on the wall out there and downstairs, and sometimes we say them in meetings. So what do they mean? Yeah, so those of you who are out here can still see it on the screen, and a couple of you brought your orders of service so you can look at them. We say this stuff, what does it mean?
Everybody is okay.
Everybody is okay. Do you want to tell us a little more about that?
Well, I just think of we honor everyone's worth and dignity. I think a lot of people get the message that they're not okay. And so I feel like that's a really important message to put out.
Yeah, so the world sends the message that not everybody is okay, that there are things about them that are not as good. And everybody we accept people for who they are. Yeah, did I paraphrase you well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll add to that.
Yeah.
The beloved community is something specifically that MLK talked about. And his goal was that we had a fully integrated black and white together society. So it's really about bringing those people that everyone's okay, that everyone's good, that they're all intermixed and together.
Yeah, so creating this real multiracial beloved community where we are actively participating in each other's lives and in this good for all of us. Is that anything you want to add?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I said that.
Okay. So stating our intentions. Tell me more about that.
Well, when we say it, this is what we aspire to do. We may have not done it yet, or we may have to envision it, but it's
Yeah. So this is an aspirational statement that we make together because maybe we haven't lived this way yet, and we want to. Yeah. Any other thoughts? Yeah, Laurel.
Kind of speaking to that point, how every tense is in the present. Like we are doing this presently, not like we have worked in the past or anything like that.
Yeah.
Which I think really highlights that.
Yeah, Laurel makes the really wonderful point that all of these things are present tense. Like even if we have done them in the past, we're doing them. We commit to doing them now. Yeah.
I like the line that says, we seek truth and justice and love. And if you go back to the top, it says that love is the spirit of the community, meaning that the love that we are filling this community with is not finished until that truth and justice is found within the love.
Ooh, oh. So I'm going to try and lift out a couple wonderful phrases from that to make it into the mic. So the love here is not finished, and oh man, That was really good. So the love is not finished. We have to keep doing it. And we are in this process of seeking truth and justice in love. Yeah. Okay. So as Laurel pointed out, this is present tense. This is a thing that we are building toward. This conversation is not over. I am happy to talk covenant with you all the time. And we want to welcome our religious education classes downstairs. Well, they'll be continuing to talk about, Laurel, why don't you tell us? Yeah.
Alrighty, hello. So we will be talking about and watching MLK's I Have a Dream speech and paying a close attention to parts that he repeats and themes. And then we will also be reading I Am Ruby Bridges and talking about who can be an activist.
Okay. And as our religious education classes go downstairs, everybody else is invited to rise in body and spirit to sing our next hymn, which is 1020 in the Teal hymnal, Woyaya. To the Many, a prayer by Reverend Renwa Hamami. The ones who don't make headlines, the ones who are disappeared in silence, the ones whose fate will never be known, the ones who don't have a perfect narrative, the ones who deserved every bit of our resistance, but we failed to show up in time. I see you, the many. The ones who visited the prison cell, the ones who left water in the desert, the ones who cried at the makeshift memorial because no body was released, the ones who answer the phone calls pleading for intervention, the ones who have been on the front lines without a choice, waiting for decades for someone to notice. I see you, the many. The ones who cannot stay at the encampment, but can drive by with food and supplies. The ones who cannot lead the marches, but can offer the childcare. The ones who cannot join if masks are not required, but can coordinate mutual aid. The ones who cannot show up again until citations, probations, or warnings expire, but can train others to take a shift. The ones who cannot be in the photos, but have been in the struggle. quietly resisting by simply existing. I see you, the many. The many are the reason we are still here. The many are the reason we are still fighting. The many are the reason we are still loving. The many are the reason we are still creating. The many are the reason we will win. I see you, the many. Thank you. Beloved community means everybody. This is one of the most important things to remember as we use this powerful phrase. It's not a community defined around beloved people or for a special group. It is a way of building community defined by the way love operates. Most of all, if anyone is excluded, it's not beloved community. Beloved community means everybody. It means that we're building a world where everyone can thrive. This means eliminating poverty and the cycles of greed and economic exploitation that keep us trapped in debt. It means everyone has food, housing, health care, and all of their basic needs. It means that everyone gets quality education in the beloved community. This means dismantling racism and other oppressions. Racism and anti-Semitism and xenophobia, but also sexism, heterosexism, and transphobia. Also, ableism, ageism, and adultism. Every system that tries to make one person more important or valuable than another. This means ending militarization, stopping wars and the posturing of war, stopping the control of people by threat of force, whether we're talking about individuals or ethnic groups or countries. Beloved community is the antithesis of what our country's government has done in the last year. In the last year, our country has withheld food from people living in poverty, cut funding to schools, made health care inaccessible to millions of people, discriminated openly against transgender people, immigrants, and people of color, abducted and detained immigrants, terrorized communities, kidnapped the president and first lady of Venezuela, and threatened to conquer Greenland, just as a sampling. Though we are all in this moment, we don't necessarily all feel or navigate it in the same way. Those of us who are immigrants or transgender are facing direct attacks from our government. Black and brown people have long known this danger. Those of us who are poor, disabled, queer, women, the list is long and our time together is not, will all have our particular experiences of harm here. We're coming from so many places. Our resistance will not all look the same. As Reverend Renwa Hamami articulated in our reading, we have many ways of resisting. Some of us will be out in the streets, of course, but all of us are called to do what we can to align our lives and our values. How do we enact beloved community as our resistance, not just our end goal? We watch each other's kids. We bring food to the movement. We use the power we have for the good of our neighbors. We build community that's worth saving. I invite you to see this as the same movement Dr. King was part of 60 years ago. The racial, labor, and anti-war organizing that he and his contemporaries undertook is directly connected to the struggles we face now. These evils of poverty, racism, and militarization are not new, though they sometimes feel newly distilled. Historian and content creator Ashley the Baroness challenges us to see the tactics of ICE agents as repeating those of slave patrols, targeting people based on race, based on assumptions rather than evidence, terrorizing communities, brutalizing and abducting people. This isn't new, and it isn't un-American. It isn't helpful to look further than our own history to understand this dynamic. Beloved community means everybody. Everybody gets what they need to thrive, but beloved community means everybody, and we all have a part to play in building this world of love, justice, and peace. This means dismantling our own assumptions, yes, of course, but I'm also specifically thinking of how we actively resist the harm that our government is doing right now. And there's a tool that was also in the civil rights movement's toolbox, the boycott. When so much of what is killing our people in this moment is greed, we fight back with our wallets. Every time you make a purchase, you make a choice, after all. 70 years ago, when Martin Luther King Jr. was the new pastor in Montgomery, local organizers selected him to be the visible leader of a bus boycott. Remember Rosa Parks, Claudette Colvin, and their coordinated refusal to give up their seats to white bus riders in protest of both segregation and grave abuses by the bus system in Montgomery. The Montgomery bus boycott lasted 381 days, more than a year of coordinating people not to ride the bus that they depended on. That is a lot of walking and bicycling, a lot of ride sharing, a lot of time that people were not home with their families to make that happen. People collected and distributed shoes to replace the shoes that the boycotters wore out. This coordinated action took the commitment of the whole community to support it. It wasn't a foregone or riskless victory. King's house was firebombed and he spent 2 weeks in jail. The same for Ralph Abernathy. Rosa Parks eventually had to leave Montgomery. She could not get work. Boycotters were attacked while walking. It took profound courage and stamina to participate in this boycott. To bring this up to our present day moment, Side with Love's Nicole Presley put it this way: economic non-cooperation raises the cost of repression. ICE needs the economy to function, to do what they do. They need food, they need hotel rooms, they need all of their tech. There are ways to hit ICE and their allies in their wallets. When the executive branch won't listen to judges, when Congress won't stop illegal action, we all need to own our economic power. Air travel. Avelo Airlines had a $150 million contract with the federal government to operate deportation flights. The government was deporting these individuals without a fair hearing or due process. Consumers boycotted Avelo during the busy travel season of Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they organized actions and divestment processes. On January 9th, Avelo announced that they were discontinuing deportation flights. This is a win. Let's celebrate it and allow it to inspire us to further economic action. Here are some of the boycott and divestment actions that I'm hearing about. This list is hastily assembled and non-comprehensive. It's been a busy week in our country and our congregation, so these are imperfect seeds of ideas that I'm sharing with you. Hotels. Hilton. A Hampton Inn in Lakeville, Minnesota, canceled ICE's reservations. And Hilton, who is the brand owner, canceled that location's brand status. Hilton has also hosted ICE recruitment events. Organizers are calling for those who can to cancel their upcoming reservations with Hilton brand hotels. Some organizers are even calling for people to make and then cancel reservations, to flood the system and cost Hilton money as they process the reservations and cancellations. Telephones, AT&T. AT&T has had multi-million-dollar contracts with the Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Patrol, and ICE. Organizers call for consumers to refuse to buy, upgrade, or renew phones or plans with AT&T until they stop contracting with ICE. Surveillance technology and data processing. Amazon. Amazon isn't the only one, but it's one we might use on a daily basis. Amazon doesn't just sell us objects. Amazon makes millions of dollars each year selling cloud computing services to ICE. In fact, ICE depends on Amazon to carry out its work. I know that Amazon is deeply embedded in many of our lives. To the extent that you are able, stop shopping with Amazon. So this means Amazon.com, but also Audible, Ring cameras, Whole Foods is owned by Amazon, remember, and even the Washington Post. Yeah, this one is a double whammy. Getting our money out of Amazon's economy is perhaps a drop in the bucket when Amazon has a hand in everything. But we have the opportunity to reinvest in smaller businesses and local economies when we stop and think about the paths that our money takes. We can build the economies we want to support by shopping with the companies that more closely align with our values. Prisons and weapons manufacturers. You probably don't go out of your way to support private prisons or weapons manufacturers. Individual consumers usually don't. But have you checked your investments recently? Do you have money invested in funds that include private prisons or weapons in their portfolio? Do you know generally what your money is doing in the world? Is your money being used in ways that don't align with your values? It might be time to take a deep look and change that. We have seen injustice before. But as our first hymn says, we've got our minds stayed on freedom. We lift up the songs of the civil rights movement today, many of which come out of the Black spirituals and gospel traditions, which reach back to Black people's struggle for freedom and freedom from slavery. With deep respect for this tradition, we sing these words to remember that the struggle is centuries long and rooted in the ordering of our society. So is the will to overcome. Over 100 years ago, a mixed-race mine workers union sang a gospel song, "We Will Overcome," at its meetings. And along the way, parts of the tune were swapped out with a spiritual, "You may know, no more auction block for me." In the 1940s, striking tobacco industry workers, mostly black women, began singing "We Will Overcome" at their meetings. The organizers at Highlander School, which has trained generations of civil rights activists, learned it from them. Pete Seeger changed the common usage from "we will" to "we shall overcome." Dr. King heard Seeger singing the song in 1957. The song, as we know it, is deeply associated with the Highlander Center, which still trains civil rights activists, and with the labor and civil rights movements, holding and passing the hope through the generations. We sing it today as a prayer for endurance, for justice, for kinship, for peace, for freedom. I invite you to rise in body and spirit to sing "We Shall Overcome," number 169 in the gray hymnal and on the screen. Our meditation this morning comes from the collection "Thou, Dear God" by Dr. King. A time like this demands great leaders. Leaders whom the lust of office does not kill. Leaders whom the spoils of life cannot buy. Leaders who possess opinions and a will. Leaders who have honor. Leaders who will not lie. Leaders who can stand before a demagogue and damn treacherous flatteries without winking. Tall leaders, sun-crowned, who live above the fog in public duty and private thinking. God grant that ministers and lay leaders and civic leaders and professional people all over the nation will rise up and use the talents and finances that God has given them and lead the people on toward the promised land of freedom with rational, calm, nonviolent means. Amen. I invite you to remain seated for our meditation hymn, number 199 in the gray hymnal and on the screen, Precious Lord, Take My Hand. Another world is possible. Each week we collect an offering and we split it with an outside organization to help us remember that we can't make the world a better place on our own. During January, our congregation generously shares half of our Sunday service offering basket with the Interlink Foundation. Half of the money collected today supports the programming of our congregation. The other half supports the Interlink Foundation's mission of sharing stories and writing from the global South. Please give generously today in the basket, by text, by check, or through our website. And I want to let you know that you can check out some of Interlink's books. Look at, not take home like a library. You can look at their books on the table up here at the front. Hannah brought some for us to flip through last week. to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. We are about to sing our closing song. You are welcome to stay right where you are and be held in the love of our congregation, or rise and move into a circle along the outer aisle. Place your hands over your heart, or hold hands with the person next to you as we sing This Day We Come. I send you forth with these words from Dr. King. This is where we are. Where do we go from here? First, we must massively assert our dignity and worth. We must stand up amidst a system that still oppresses and develop an unassailable and majestic sense of values. What is needed is a realization that power without love is reckless and abusive, and that love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. And this is what we must see as we move on. Go in peace.